So we've done a couple videos, and I really feel like as we do it, we're going to evolve into higher technology, better hair and makeup. But this is Love Improv. It is what it is, and we're showing up how we're showing up. And I feel like every segment we do, it's sort of like the pilot, the sequel, the triquel, the prequel, whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're jumping off, and so we're glad that you're here and that you are a part of it and watching and hopefully participating in the discussions. My name's Rebecca McClaskey.
I'm Sherry Schultz.
And we're happy to have you. So we've kind of covered a bunch of different topics so far. What motivates you to be in a relationship, taking your power back, and today we're going to cover the topic, hopefully without any wardrobe malfunctions. Or malfunctions of any sort, of setting yourself up. Basically, what happens when you text, call, Facebook, IM, tweet, stalk, drive by, reconnect, call back your ex. Some sort of, hey, I know we're broken up, but
here I am.
Here I am. Still here. Let's talk about getting to that place where a person becomes your ex. You know? You had to start somewhere before you ended up there.
The breakup happens.
The fucking breakup happens.
So the separation happens. The separation happens from who are we as a couple and who am I now as an individual. Who are we now with our friends as a broken up couple?
I think that, yeah. I mean, there's all the different interplay of the actual social environment you were in versus Facebook, the fake social, and you know, Facebook.
Social?
Yeah, social.
We just made that word up.
For show. Kodo for show. So, okay. I think we've all been there. I know I have. Where it's like midnight or early in the morning or something that you're doing is sort of like the routine you and your partner had. But you're broken up. So it's not like you're in that routine. You're in the scaffolding of that routine, and you just go, I think I'm just going to text him. Or her.
Your trigger point.
Or them. Yeah, your trigger point.
Your trigger points. And what is that trigger point? Where is that generating from? And I think it's really great that you said routine, because I think anytime there's a routine, there's an expectation. There's an expectation that something's going to happen and continue to happen. And so now the routine is broken.
Yeah, it's broken.
And when you're going through the breakup, especially in the early part of the breakup, it doesn't matter if it's a friendly breakup or if it's a tumultuous breakup. There's still a huge change in your life.
Oh, it just blows breaking up.
Okay, so I know, right? But it's part of the process of us awakening and becoming who we truly are. So yes, we know that. Blah, blah, blah,
blah,
right?
Blah.
Okay, I get it. So you're texting someone 12:30 at night. You know what? I just want to put some 2 cents in here right now. You know?
Yeah.
Whether it's a dig or it's a love note.
Yeah.
And when is that appropriate?
I don't know that it ever is. But I know that when you are broken up with somebody, and people go through the cycle of breaking up and getting back together and breaking up and getting back together. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the framework of you were in a relationship and for whatever reason, external, internal, or other, you broke up and now you're in the framework of I used to have a partner, or the song that's out right now, Someone I Used to Know.
Oh my goodness.
You're somebody I used to know.
Yeah.
And the thing that person. You had a relationship with them, and it's over. But there is something about the send button that they're right. You're sitting there, and there is part of you that is like, boop, 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 I miss you, or you're a fucker, or
bleep, bleep, bleep.
bleep, bleep, bleep. Oh, sorry. Or whatever. I'm just so mad, or I still want you back, or some sort of grabbing to what used to be, and then you hit send. And then what happens?
Then you start feeling bad.
Then
you realize that, hopefully you're realizing this by watching our videos and corresponding with us, that what you're searching for, what you're reaching for, what that triggering is all about you.
Yeah.
It's about you not feeling the self-love, or you not feeling the gratitude, or you not feeling the acceptance of yourself.
Yeah.
And I was really searching for that. And perhaps the funny thing is, the paradoxical thing is that you may not even have been receiving that at all in the relationship, but for some reason you think you're going to get that right now.
Yeah.
And so that all comes back to, if you don't have that for yourself, you're not going to get it from anyone else.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Right. Broken for a reason.
Yes. And so you can text or post or whatever it is you want to do, but just know you're doing that for you. You're not doing that for the other person.
Yeah.
And you may be setting yourself up. I think you're going to talk about that.
Yeah. And in some ways, when you're going through it, it's like the worst Hallmark card to hear. Is like, or playing the Whitney Houston song, "The Greatest Love of All is the Love I Have Inside of Me." Like, yeah, that it's totally true, but when you're in it, when you're trying to reach after what was or what you wanted it to be by sending the text, you're setting yourself up. And you're setting yourself up, first of all, you're not alone in doing it. Secondly, you're trying to return to a familiar place. It's just familiar, and routine is what's familiar. Predictability is what's familiar, and oftentimes the pain we feel is the last connection we had with that person, or with that ideal, or with that dream. So when we send a text, we are throwing out an idea that we have, or an ideal that we have.
An ideal.
Yeah.
I like that.
And oftentimes, I mean, there are times that the party on the other end will respond, and that will elicit a certain response inside of us. And sometimes it's a painful one.
Which is the familiarity of your heart at that point.
Yeah.
It's a place where you've come to some sort of understanding, maybe even subconsciously, that this is where we are now. We're in the pain process.
Oh my gosh. The pain.
And I think that what we can learn and gather from our experience is that we are to dive into our pain.
I love that you said that.
By ourselves, though, not necessarily with that person. Obviously, if the break has happened, that experience is over, and that's what it was. So now, the beauty of that break is how you are internally and eventually externally reacting to the situation. And that sending the text message or the phone call or whatever it is, you're still reacting to that person, even if they don't react back.
Right.
So you have to really dig into that pain so that you can learn to manage that situation and move on.
Just to put it in a little bit more concrete terms and just simple terms, the setup, the send button, all of those things, they're all part of creating a path for yourself. And to just get real about it, to just be realistic, and intentional, and say hey, I'm going to send this, And I might feel crappy after I send it. Or I'm going to send it because my intention is I genuinely miss this person. But I think the point that I want to say, as long as you're authentic in it, that's what will get you through it. Because you're the one who got yourself into the relationship, you're the one who showed up for the relationship, and you're the one experiencing the end of the relationship. You were there all along. And either you show up for your life or you don't. And when I say the setup, when I'm talking about the breakup and the send button, I'm talking about what are we sending out and what are we receiving? How are we showing up? You know?
Well, eventually, all the rejection, all the rejection, you'll have to actually look in that mirror and be like, wait a second.
Mirror,
Am I tired of having this rejection? Because it's just affecting me at this point.
Yeah. That's a great, I think, segue into our next segment, really coping with and dealing with rejection and digging deep into what that is. But if you have any more questions, if you've watched our video, if you like hot pink, please post on our Facebook page. I'm Rebecca, and keep it sexy.
I'm Sherry, love courageously.